So many of us have fallen for the great lie, the myth of progress, the shiny idea that things can only get better. The human condition, humans themselves. Technology will perfect us and the world around us, won't it? But what if progress isn't inevitable? What if it doesn't get better? Computers? They got their start by calculating the fastest way to kill. The nuclear dream? Well, that gave us the bomb. We think we're doing the right thing. We think we learn from history. But as a great physicist once said, science advances one funeral at a time.
Shiva the Destroyer, deep in thought. Belonged to a former professor of mine.
It's beautiful.
Dr. Singh would always say that our conduct must be good so as not to waken the sleeping destroyer. When Shiva wakes, the world will tremble.
Let's hope he doesn't wake up then.
Hi, this is Nicholson1968. Thank you for tuning in to my new project, Carbon Copy, The Return. Going to connect some dots for you here. And this one I started off in the beginning of this video. You'll notice it is the opening scenes credits to a Netflix series, Altered Carbon, which was based on a 2002 novel of the same title by Richard K. Morgan. And the series takes place over 350 years in the future, 2384. In the future, a person's memories can be uploaded on a disc-shaped device called a stack, which is implanted in the vertebrae at the back of the neck. These storage devices are of a design and have been reverse engineered, mass-produced. Physical human or synthetic bodies called sleeves, as they're known, are used as vessels that can accept any stack. So basically you download your consciousness, memories into a stack. It can be implanted into a new body, a synthetic body, a sleeve. Okay. Now anybody that has followed this channel on YouTube for 2007, I was talking about this also on my blog in 1998, and then it later became nicholson1968.com, talking about what is the temple of God, what is the enemy of humanity after. And anybody that's followed me for any length of time knows what transhumanism is. If you do not, then you need to, after this video, do your research, go to my website, have plenty of information, things I was talking about that people thought I was crazy back in the day. But now if you type in transhumanism into the YouTube search engine or Google search engine, it is all over the place. Also, in the beginning of this video, I also played a clip from a movie called Uncanny. They mentioned Shiva and the Destroyer and its role. And for you that don't know who Shiva is part of the Hindu Trinity. Brahma is the creator of the universe. Vishnu is the preserver of it. Shiva is the destroyer and the transformer, and their trinity and what they believe. And it's I want to make the connections here because this will help you to understand why secret societies, Luciferians, different religions, people do what they do. Because I want to make the connection here. Notice that in the opening, Altered Carbon, If you go back and look at it again with the snake it's obvious the snake intertwining around the woman with the angel wings, that kind of thing. That's the obvious thing. But when you look at it again, notice that there are cities and buildings mixed in with the snake, creating a new kingdom symbolism based on altered carbon. And things that are not supposed to be done, which are an abomination to the Creator. Move forward to the second clip with Shiva and what they believe is reincarnation, or you destroy it and you start over. It's birth, rebirth, dying. It's a circle. It's a vicious circle that they believe in. That's why you see the snake eating its tail, the dragon eating its tail, the Ouroboros, the figure 8, around and around. It's a vicious circle that we can fix what's going on just by over time. And this is what you have to understand about occult people, is they believe if they don't accomplish this in their lifetime, they'll die and come back, keep on keeping on till you finish what you've started. The great work, which is called in Freemasonic lodges, call it whatever you want, it's all the same thing, this is why they do what they do. Because people ask me all the time, I go, why do they do this, Nicholson? Don't they know they're going to lose in the end? Well, they're not taught the way we're taught, and they're taught other things in their secret schools. And one of these things is reincarnation and the rebirth, the phoenix rising from the ashes to live again. That whole thing, it's repackaged under different names. Now, I have to say, this is probably one of the most important videos that I've ever made. And for me to say that should tell you something, that I've been doing this a long time. So I really need you to watch to the end of this video, because the questions I get asked is, okay, this is fine, what you're showing us, so what do we do about it? What does it mean? So what? You can decode certain things or see things or whatever. But understanding what you're looking at is very important, because it keeps you away from being controlled, mind controlled, whatever. It keeps you in a safe place, knowing the deception that is around you at all times in this fallen world, and knowing who Jesus Christ is and the Creator. It is very important. A lot of people don't want to believe that, and that's part of the deception in the end times. I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in organized religion. They don't have the answers. And the reason they don't have the answers, they're telling half of the truth. They're telling one part that's true about Jesus Christ, but they're not telling you 1 Corinthians 6:3 that we judge angels, and Jude 1:6 that angels that left their first estate and they went somewhere in their punishment. Where did they go? They came here. So there it is in a nutshell. We get to judge fallen angels because we're not going to judge good angels, and you need to figure out where they went and what happened. And I'll touch on that probably later in part 2. So what I'm going to share with you in this video hopefully will help you to understand the people that are allowed to rule this world for right now, for an age, for a time. And when I say elite, I mean a small group of people. I don't mean they're better than us. I just mean it's a small group of people because the masses have been programmed and led down a path that is not supposed to be, and led astray per se. So the basis for a lot of Luciferian, Satanism, secret societies, Rosicrucianers, Illuminati, all of these things at the root are based on Hermetic alchemy. Now that's different than traditional alchemy. Traditional alchemy is the concept of transformation of common lead into common gold, trying to get rich. But Hermetic alchemy is about the transformation of oneself. So knowing this is very important, because it's under different religions, different secret societies. At the root of them, they're called different things. It doesn't matter. But I'm gonna read a statement here, and when I read the statement, you can pick almost all religions except one, Christianity, or the follower of Christ, that's singled out. When I read the statement, you can apply it to almost New Age, you can apply it to Hinduism, Buddha, everything. You can apply this information to those beliefs except one. And I'm going to read this to you, okay? All right. Remember, Hermetic alchemy, transformation of oneself. That it's only possible if one understands the true nature of oneself and the firm understanding that one is the essence of divine being. Man, as he is born, is the product of nature. However, man can improve himself to become more than nature. He is able to manifest his true divine potential by transmuting his common, everyday nature into the full divine nature that he really is. There are many ways to do this. Over the course of history, people in different cultures have stumbled on different practices to accomplish this. Okay, I do not believe that, okay? And that's what they believe. Think about it. In Christianity, the only way you become complete is you come as a man, believe on what Jesus Christ did to show you the way to overcome death for the next stage when you die. Every other religion, secret societies, they want to become human gods in a physical form. And it is completely opposite of what God is trying to show us and tell us. Go read Ephesians 6:10 through 18. The armor of God is a spiritual armor. Satan wants you in a physical armor, in chains, technology, robotics, machinery. In alchemy, there are 3 phases. And I'm going to share this because you'll see it all in media, movies, scientific community, the 3 phases of the great work, okay? 3 phases of the great work, Freemasonic, alchemy, it's all the same. 3 phases, 3 pillars, doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to read this information that I've written down, so get it to you where I'm not just off the cuff. Very important that you understand this. So the first phase of great work is blackness, okay? And what is the first thing you encounter when you close your eyes? Blackness. And when I'm reading this to you, this is what they believe. This is their philosophies, okay? Not what Nicholson1968 believes, okay? The first thing is blackness. The first step is blackness. When you enter your inner world, you enter into darkness. This is the first experience, the first stage of the great work. Here the operation of purification takes place. Here the fix gets dissolved by the volatile. By becoming aware of the volatile mind, the bodily consciousness diminishes. And alchemical symbols, black is always indicated by something like a raven, a raven's head, a dark jacket, darkness, night, solar, or a moon eclipse, the tomb, hell, or death. When the matter enters the stage of blackness, it is called lead or Saturn. Okay, I'm going to say that again. When the matter has entered the stage of blackness, it is called lead or Saturn. Remember that, Saturn. Stage 2, phase 2 is whiteness. Okay, this is the perfect purification. When all blackness has disappeared and the color white appears, then it is said that life has conquered death, that the king has been revived, that earth and water have become air, that the child has been born, that heaven, the volatile, the female, and the earth, the fixed, the male, have married. It is the realm of the moon. When one has purified his awareness of self during meditation by eliminating thoughts or otherwise, then at a certain point light appears. This can be put, is not necessarily a visual light inside oneself. The light that appears is metaphoric. It is absolutely clear, pure awareness of self. So the philosopher says that when one has attained this stage, one needs to destroy the books because they become superficial. From this point, one needs to continue this purification of awareness to the next stage of redness, of red. The third stage is red. Black, white, then red. Okay? The third and last phase is characterized by the color red. When the white stone or the white elixir has been made. It needs to purify further until the matter becomes totally fixed and is completely stable. Then we have the red sulfur, the red stone, the red elixir, the stone of the wise, whatever you want to call it. When the divine light has emerged during meditation, one needs to make it last. This demands a continued effort of holding one's attention to the pure awareness, not only for the length of the meditation session, but also during everyday life. A certain point to pure awareness of one's divine self will be permanent. Okay, that's what they believe. Black, Saturn, lead, right? White, purification. You've got red, the phoenix. That's also symbol of the redness of the phoenix. That's your rebirth, coming out stronger than before. This is what they believe is a spiritual alchemy or a spiritual ascending, and that you can become divine in the physical, and that's what they believe. Okay, and in Christianity, you become divine in a spiritual sense in the next step. They don't believe that. They don't believe in that next step. So once you understand, these three phases, and I'm going to do it simple for you. Basically, I'm just going to break it right down for you. The black signifies the burning up, the purifying. You burn it till it turns to white and it's pure. And then the third stage of the red stage is death, or you're waiting for the two to come together. You're waiting for the black and the white to come together to make a total complete. That's what they believe. The yin and the yang, the Masonic checkerboard floors, is they believe in order to become one, you have to be both dark and light, good and evil. Both, you come together, and then the red and alchemy forms. It is the red. It is the phoenix rising from the ashes, stronger, better, black, white, red. So I will share some more information later in another video. That Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, that is a story of alchemy, plain and simple, that Disney put out there. I mean, because in Hermetic alchemy, you've got the three phases of the great work, and it includes the 7 metals as well. The 7 metals. Guess what? There were 7 dwarves. So I'm not going to go into that here, but remember, Snow White has black hair. Her skin was white as snow with red ruby lips. There you go. Black, white, red. I may do something later in a different video, but it is all there, those pieces. This next clip I'm going to show you is from a commercial from a couple of years ago by Katy Perry, and it's a perfume commercial, but it's the same thing that I've been talking about. Is things are based in Hermetic alchemy, and it's short, but it tells you start off at a basic level and you ascend. You ascend to the throne, you ascend to enlightenment, whatever that is. And the colors are also involved too. You have the black, red, white, and the gold for completion. As you'll see, as this commercial progresses, as she starts off in a basic form, a servant, whatever it is, simple, and then the ascension starts through alchemical process. It is a story based in a lot of things, so please enjoy this. I'll be right back. in the news, look in the medical and science fields. This is what is going on, the tampering with humanity.
My name is Neri Oxman and I'm an architect. I direct the Mediated Matter group at the MIT Media Lab. And the Mediated Matter group is essentially focused around digital fabrication technologies that are inspired by nature.
Michelangelo said that when he looked at raw marble, he saw a figure struggling to be free. The chisel was Michelangelo's only tool. But living things are not chiseled. They grow. And in our smallest units of life, our cells, we carry all the information that's required for every other cell to function and to replicate. So here, this is a split screen to represent my split worldview, the split personality of every designer and architect operating today between the chisel and the gene, between machine and organism, between assembly and growth, between Henry Ford and Charles Darwin. My work at its simplest level is about uniting these two worldviews.
As designers, we must today bring into account not only the digital, but also the biological. So from nature-inspired design to a design-inspired nature.
We live in a very special time in history, a rare time. New life forms that were computationally grown, additively manufactured, and biologically augmented. I like to think of synthetic biology as liquid alchemy. Only instead of transmuting precious metals, you're synthesizing new biological functionality inside very small channels. It's called microfluidics. In our first piece of clothing, we combined two microorganisms. Now, these two microorganisms never interact in nature. In fact, they never met each other. They've been here engineered for the first time to have a relationship inside a piece of clothing. Think of it as evolution not by natural selection, but evolution by design. We then started growing these channels on the human body, varying material properties according to the desired functionality. Where we wanted more photosynthesis, we would design more transparent channels. And here it is for the first time, unveiled at TED, our first photosynthetic wearable, liquid channels glowing with life inside a wearable clothing. Mary Shelley said, "We're unfashioned creatures, but only half made up." What if design could provide that other half? What if we could create structures that would augment living matter? What if we could create personal microbiomes that would scan our skins, repair damaged tissue, and sustain our bodies? Think of this as a form of edited biology. This entire collection, Wanderers, that was named after planets, was not, to me, really about fashion per se, but it provided an opportunity to speculate about the future of our race on our planet and beyond, to combine scientific insight with lots of mystery. Here's to a new age of design, a new age of creation, that takes us from a nature-inspired design to a design-inspired nature.
This will allow us to produce better prosthetic devices, building skins, wearables that correspond and respond to the body. And this is just a teaser for one of the collection of wearables that we're about to launch in my lab that shows you how we can scan the face and compute the final breath before we die.
As a quadriplegic, it must be frustrating for you, someone who liked to get things done with their hand.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again?
I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything.
It's a new, better brain.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you.
Can anybody else hear you?
No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newground. You'll need a plan.
I got this.
This doesn't seem like a well-thought-out plan. I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Stay down, man. Sam, he's got a knife!
I see that. We have a knife too. You now have full control again, Gray.
If you are involved in this somehow, then you need to let me know.
Well, I was in the area, Detective.
There's a gun implanted inside his hand.
Stan, what do you think I should do?
Move, Gray.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
You are persistent.
I cannot allow us to be killed. We're going to finish the job we started.
There you go, all around you. It's in your face. Upgrade, you just got to see it. Upgrade yourself, become a better human. That's the answer to everything. You just have to look for it. Beyonce telling you, it's in the music, movie, scientific, medical fields, all around us. Some people know the part they're playing, and some people don't. They're compartmentalized, and they're helping a bigger agenda that is, detrimental to humanity. It's detrimental to us. And you have to see it for what it is, because it's the same old lie from the garden. The snake, the serpent told Eve, God was very specific. He said, do not partake of this knowledge.
Introducing Droid DNA by HTC. It's not an upgrade to your phone. It's an upgrade to yourself.
This tree, call it whatever you want. Do not partake of this fruit, because you surely will die. And that's what this is technology. I'm not against technology of a pacemaker, adding a limb, making ourselves better and healthier. Technology in general, I'm not against. But when technology is used to control a person, where mankind is going, that's what I'm against. And that is also in prophecy of where we're going with the mark of the beast, is controlling a vessel, a person with technology. A mark of a beast. When you're not human, you are a beast. You're one or the other. So it's the same old lie, is don't partake of this technology in your body, because it'll kill you. And it's there it was put in place for a reason why we're not supposed to do certain things. It's not a punishment. It's a warning. But see, the elite, Lucifer, Satan, the same old lie is, that's just wrong. You surely won't die. See where we're going with this? It's nothing new. It's just repackaged and a fancy package. And here's a quick example of the alchemy. The alchemical symbol right here is the circle, square, and triangle. Okay? So that's alchemical symbol. But let's take the Freemason G, compass, and the square. It's the same thing. The compass makes triangle, but then also a compass, as you use the compass, you can go around in a circle. So you have the triangle and the circle, okay? And then you've got the square, the compass and the square. The square does the square. Get it? Square, circle, pyramid. All three pieces are there. It's just rearranged in a different way, but it's the same thing. Most architects, and a mason is a builder. They build buildings. Architects they build things. In New York, Battery Park, which they believe, this is the other thing, they believe certain things bring energy on this earth. Certain things that are put in place on ley lines, things across the world they put in place bring energy from above, so below, whatever you want to say. But in Battery Park is what they call it. Now, battery, what? Energy? But there's three buildings. This architect built these three buildings, and look at the rooftops. One is a pyramid triangle, one has a circular, and the other one has a square. All three pieces of a compass and square Freemasonic, or all three pieces of alchemical. You have to see this because it is all around you. And once you see it, it doesn't control you. It doesn't lead you down a different path and you don't want to go. Because once you see it, you know what it's about. You know what's up. That's why I do what I do. And a lot of people don't agree with that. Clearly, the Bible tells us to expose it in Ephesians 5:11, which states, "And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reproof them," or expose them. So that's what I do here on this channel. Like right now, Iron Man, I told from the beginning in one of my first videos of Iron Man. I'm going to break it down here. Is the poster that you're looking at here is Iron Man 3. The name of this is called A Fall from Grace. They've recently changed it called Heroes Fall. But when it came out and the original artist, this was called A Fall from Grace. Why would you call it A Fall from Grace? And I'll tell you why. This is what we're not supposed to partake of. Right now, we're under the age of grace with Jesus Christ. Okay? So, the abomination is not to mix with metal and technology, iron and clay, the last kingdom. And remember what I stated in this video of the 4 colors, that it completes everything. The 3 phases, you get to the gold, complete. You're a total package. Okay? Now look at this. Notice one eye, the one eye symbolism. Everybody goes, oh, that's Illuminati. Okay, what does it really mean? Is, first of all, one side is a human, which is good or the right way. The other side is the abomination, the wrong way, the dark and the light mixing together to make a total package. Remember what I stated, what they believe. They are mixing the light and the dark together to mesh. And then you go to the next phase of what they believe in. And look at the colors, okay, of an Iron Man. Red, black, white, gold. It's all there. I mean, all the colors are there. A complete total package of what they believe is a total man, a God on earth, a we are gods kind of thing, symbolism. And you think I'm just reaching with the alchemy, but in the final one, here is a picture of what is in the chest of an Iron Man. There you go, the alchemy symbol, the pyramid right there. I mean, that's alchemy at its best in symbolism of the heart. And see, it's totally opposite. God dwells in the hearts of men. That's where Satan wants to dwell, in the hearts of men made his way in a carbon copy. A carbon copy is trying to duplicate what the Most High wants. That is all of what's going on the face of the earth right now, is the enemy is trying to carbon copy, duplicate it. And it's all around us. The Most High is everywhere all the time. How can someone duplicate that? How can the enemy, Satan, duplicate being somewhere all the time? 5G, Wi-Fi. That's why Satan is also known as the Prince of the Air. Deeper meaning. Stuff you're not going to hear in a church. And making the connections, the connecting the dots. And that's why I love you guys, and I want to share this with you, to share with your kids, your kids. I don't know when everything's going down, but I do know that the mark of the beast has to do with technology, transhumanism. You can see it. Look around you. You're being led down a path of technology, my friends, whether you like it or not. That's just the way it is. That's pretty obvious. You can't get away from that. But technology taken too far for control, pretty scary stuff. So in summary of this video, all the things that I've shown you, the tampering, the trying to copy the Most High, whether you believe that or not, that's another subject, but it's very important in Matthew 24:37 through 39. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Now, this is what I'm talking about, organized religion and churches, is they always claim that Jesus Christ will return when there's rumors of wars, there's earthquake, there's pestilence, all of this stuff, which has already been around. That's nothing new. It's been here for already, hundreds of years. But it's very important in this verse. It says the coming of the Son of Man will be like the days of Noah. very specific of what's going on in the days of Noah and understanding what was going on in the days of Noah, and where the technology that I have shown that is real and is coming to pass, where did man get this technology? Now you're getting to the root of it, is the fallen angels. That's why in a everyday organized religious church, they're missing the boat. Is the technology that is coming on the scene is not from God. It is from the fallen angels originally, where it originated from, and that's where we are today. And it's going to get to a point where mankind, humanity, is being destroyed and wiped out. Point of there's no more humans. Guess what? What happened with the days of Noah? Only 8 people were saved. 8. Figure 8. You remember the snake, the dragon hid itself? The 8? What a coincidence. 8 people were saved. Noah. And were saved because of their genetics, their genes. The first book of the Bible is Genesis. And that's why it's very important when they list who begat who. Why would you name all of that in the lineage? Why is it so important about a bloodline in the blood? Because of the tampering of what's going on. That's why I had to start over with Noah again, because animals, humanity, everything was being tampered with because of what was going on in the days of Noah. Jesus Christ will have to return to break that up again. And look where we're going. Everything I've shown, the tampering, GMO foods, I hadn't even touched it. The chemtrails in the sky. All of the conspiracy theories that people thought were conspiracy are not conspiracies, are they? If you look around, for those of us that are awake, they're not conspiracies. So stay tuned. Part 2 coming up. I speak to the return, speak to the technology of the fallen, where it comes from, Saturn, cube worship. If you're not familiar with that, you can't wait for part 2. Go to your Google or whatever search engine, type in cube worship. You'll probably find nicholson1968.com. It'll probably be number 1 or number 2 when it comes up. I'm going to leave you a little teaser to part 2, and I'll see you then. Enjoyed it. Love you guys. Nicholson1968. I'm out.
His bravery wasn't in being a warrior. It came from knowing what was in his heart. He recognized what was right and he stood up for it.